Hi, everybody. Mitch Tannenbaum here. Thanks for joining me today. If you want to avoid being the next victim of a payroll pirate, uh, stick around and listen to what I have to say. So, um, that's a term that was not familiar to me. Perhaps it is familiar to you. But the bottom line of the conversation is that these are hackers that are stealing your payroll information. And in particular, what they're doing is for things which are the bank account information is stored, like your paycheck for direct deposit. They're figuring out how to compromise people's accounts and then changing their direct deposit information or their payment information. So Microsoft says that they are investigating this. I am sure that they are. Um, and the particular attack that they're talking about seems to be going after universities, and particularly after universities that are using Workday as an HR system. Um, Fundamentally, the way it works is that the hacker, rather than, the old school way of doing this was they would send an email to HR and HR would just blindly change your direct deposit information, or send the email to accounting and accounting would, tell accounting you're a vendor and you need to change your direct deposit information. Now people are, pretty well caught on to that. And so they use an out of band method, like they call you on your cell phone that they know what the number is and verify that you really want to change it. So that kind of attack doesn't work anymore. So what they do instead is they send you, the end user, a phishing email, and they get you to cough up your credentials, including multi-factor authentication. The way that works in particular is that they launch a what's called a man in the middle attack, where they send you an email, you click on a link because they've convinced you that something is wrong and you need to check on something. The adversary in the middle presents a page which looks like the Workday login screen. You enter your user ID and password, which they then pass on to the real Workday after capturing it. Workday logs you in. It may prompt you for the MFA. You enter the MFA in the attacker's site, and then the attacker forwards that MFA information to the real Workday site. And now they're in, they capture the token that makes that work. And now they can log in as you and change your payroll information. In the meantime, you're totally unaware that this is going on. So apparently it's a big deal. Um, since March of this year, they've seen these attacks go on. And like, for example, in one campaign, they sent nearly 6,000 emails to people at 25 different universities. And you don't need a lot of people to go off and fall for this scam, which, sounds pretty realistic. So I can understand why people fall for it. Um, Part of it comes from using things like text messages and stuff for multi-factor authentication. Um, my suggestion is that you use passwordless that authentication mechanism. Some sites don't support it. A lot of sites do. The bigger sites probably do, like Workday. But that either involves having a little USB key, which you plug into your computer or laptop to authenticate yourself, or you use something like passkey, which both Windows and Mac support. Both of those would detect that the login screen came from a different website than the one that it was originally set up for, i.e., it was a hacker's website, even though it looks identical to the real website. So it takes some work. The vendor has to support it. If you need assistance, this is something that intrigues you, you want to go work on it. If you're the one who has the site that saves the direct deposit information and you want to change on your end, reach out to us. We'll be happy to work with you to figure out how to do that. But apparently it's been pretty lucrative to the bad guys, and doesn't take many folks falling for this to potentially make a lot of money Um, and when you do detect that you didn't get your money, um, and this is especially true for non-payroll accounts because the amounts are often a lot bigger. We've heard stories of $100,000 going to the hacker in one fell swoop. Most people don't get that much in payroll. Um, it doesn't take a lot of those people to fall for it for the hackers to do very well, and then they just disappear and come up with a different hacking campaign. So, thanks for listening. If we can be of assistance, let us know. And until next time, avoid payroll pirates. Yeah.